Hey Packer Nation, my name is Rachel Bachmeyer and I'm the proud principal of West Fargo High School. We wanted to take this opportunity to share some important information with you about back to school. I hope you've had a fun, safe, exciting summer despite the heat these past few days. And as we prepare to welcome all students back on campus in mid-August, it's important to communicate some upcoming dates and essential announcements to set us up for a successful year. This brief presentation will cover introductions of staff members on your student support team, as well as important dates, information about schedules, rules, procedures, changes, as well as tips to help your student prepare for the school year and ways to stay looped into West Fargo High news. I'll also share important updates and ways we're designing supports and experiences to help your Packer graduate choice ready and gain access to the North Dakota Scholarship. So like I said, my name is Rachel Bachmeyer. This will be my 9th year at West Fargo High School, and my 3rd as head principal. I'm originally from Northeast Ohio and was consequently born and raised a proud Ohio State football fan. Go Bucks! My journey as a social studies teacher took me to the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota, inner city Denver, Philly, and the Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire before my husband Levi, a proud West Fargo graduate, convinced me to lay down roots right here. We live in the Packer feeder system with our rescue pup Shunka and our 10-month-old Linden. I also want to shout out the amazing educators at West Fargo High School. I've included a picture of the staff from Theme Day, which is a beloved West Fargo High tradition, and one of the admin team from our particularly rainy home football game. We truly have the best people in our building, and they care deeply about our students. As we kick off this presentation, I want to emphasize the importance of Packer Pride. It's something our teacher leadership team has been talking a lot about. West Fargo High is the first and the oldest high school in West Fargo. It's been around since 1935. This means our staff, our students, our families are a part of a long green line, a history of tradition and excellence. It means a lot to be a Packer. It's about a sense of belonging, stewardship for this place and the people of West Fargo, and celebrating our achievements, whether it's a state championship, a concert, high marks on an exam, or volunteering for our community. We're excited for another year of Packer Pride and hope you feel it too. Excellent leaders serve as West Fargo High School's administrative team. Dr. Wayne Sampson, John Asprey, and Rick Wilson serve as assistant principals, and Lindsay Metz is our dean of students. Each serve a specific subset of students, and you can find the students assigned to each administrator underneath their photo. So this is going to be a bit different this year. We've been doing a lot of research and learning about the importance of the transition from middle school to high school, and are being more intentional in the ways we support our freshmen. So to do that, Mr. Wilson will be the administrator for all grade 9 students. Mr. Asprey, Mrs. Metz, and Dr. Sampson will serve grades 10 through 12 with the alphabet splits listed below their photo. We are also so grateful to have West Fargo PD officer Jason Balvick serving as our school resource officer and Justin Beam as our building activities director. In addition to an assigned administrator, your student is also supported by a school counselor. We are incredibly lucky to have this dedicated and energetic team serving our students. Again, due to the shift to provide different supports for freshmen, the alphabet splits are changing. This message was delivered to families and students back in the spring and in my newsletter. Jamie Zool will be the counselor for all grade 9 learners. Courtney Quist, Dana Rosendahl, new to West Fargo High, Megan Cowden, and Tessa Roberts will support learners grades 10 through 12 via the alphabet splits below their photos. Here are some important dates to get into your calendar. In a little less than 1 week, West Fargo High will host Schedule Change Day. I'll talk more about this later, but it is the primary opportunity to address any and all schedule change requests for your students. Back to school night is on Tuesday, August 20th from 5 to 7 p.m. and we want to make a special note of a meeting for our families of senior students at 5:15 and a meeting for freshmen and new students and their families at 6:15. There will be different information shared than the information that was shared during the orientation in the spring. All freshmen and new students can also pick up a Packer t-shirt at this event, as well as their iPad, so they're ready for day one. And activities and electives fair will be held in the main commons, and all students are welcome to explore the opportunities West Fargo High School has to offer, as well as walk their class schedule and meet their teachers. The first day of school is Wednesday, August 21st. All students have to report to campus by 8:25 a.m. School pictures for sophomores and juniors also happen on the first day of school. I'll say that again, if you're a sophomore or a junior, be ready for your school picture on day 1. I don't want you to be taken off guard. And then freshmen, you'll have your photos taken on day 2 during your study hall or lunch. Picture order forms are available in the main office. You can pick them up on scheduled change day or back to school night. We have learned that online ordering is a bit more expensive, so if you want the cheaper option, go the paper route. We also want to highlight the Bank of North Dakota's high school parent launch party for Cass County high school parents. It's taking place at the Lights Essentia Health Plaza from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 5th. We'll have a ton of resources available to help navigate high school and whatever is coming next for your student. The bell schedule for the school year is available on the website. It is the exact same as last year. Block 1 begins at 8:25, Block 4 ends at 3:35. There will be a daily 20-minute advisory between Block 1 and 2 that will have advisory on Mondays, meeting with grade level groups, and then WIN sessions, what I need sessions, typically Tuesdays through Fridays. As a reminder, there will be no late starts. An extended advisory schedule will be occasionally used for events like pep rallies. So this picture reviews how lunches work because they can be a little bit tricky, especially if you're new to our system. You know what lunch you have by the number of your second block class. So for example, and this is circled in green on the slide, if you have a 2.2 class, that means you have 2.2 lunch, 2 second lunch, that's middle lunch because we run 3 lunches. This means a student will have the split block for lunch, so they'll go to class for the first 45 minutes, they'll break for lunch, and then they'll go back to class for the remaining 45 minutes. If student has a 2.1 block, this means they have first lunch, hence the 1. They would go eat lunch, first lunch, 2.1, and then go to class. If a student has a 2.3 block, that means they have third lunch, 2.3, 3, third lunch, last lunch. They would go to class and then they would eat lunch. Again, you know what lunch you have by the number of your second block class. So here's an example of a student's schedule. You can see the A or B day designation on the left-hand side. So on A days, the student has English block 1, PE block 2.3. So again, since it's 2.3, paying attention to that 0.3, the student has third lunch, and so they'll go to PE, and then they'll have lunch. They have a study hall block 3, and then German 1 block 4. On B days, the student starts the day with Algebra 1, has World Geography 2.2, so this is second lunch, which is a split lunch. He'll go to World Geo, break for lunch, then go back to World Geo, and then the day ends with Physical Science Block 3 and a Study Hall Block 4. Again, looking at their schedules, learners won't see lunch built into their schedule. There isn't something that says lunch. Don't worry, everybody has a lunch. You just need to look at what block 2 class you have. Again, 2.1, first lunch, 2.2, second lunch, 2.3, third lunch. For the large majority of students, they'll have lunch on the same day, so same time both days. So hopefully they'll have a 2.2 on an A day and a 2.2 on a B day. However, some students might have different because we wanted to accommodate as many of their schedule requests as possible. I also want to take a moment to talk about study hall. So all 9th graders start in a study hall. We want to make sure that you have the supports you need to be successful before we provide you with more freedom. Additionally, any returning student who has failed a course semester 2, so if you failed a class in the spring, you will begin in a study hall. Midway through quarter 1, all students, grades 9 through 12, who have a closed study hall will have the opportunity to apply for an open campus. To earn the release from the closed study hall, they have to demonstrate passing grades, good behavior, strong attendance, and will also check in with the family for permission. Students can look for this opportunity in late September, early October. Like in years past, West Fargo High School will host Schedule Change Day to manage student schedule change requests. This year's Schedule Change Day is on Thursday, August 8th from 9 to 3 p.m. Schedules will be released and more information via Blackboard will be shared on Tuesday, August 6th in the evening. Again, exactly the same as years past, only certain change requests will be approved. The approved reasons are listed on this slide, copied directly from the scheduled change day form, which is available on our website, and includes items like not having a full schedule, needing a class for graduation, failing a course with the same teacher, increasing the rigor of your schedule, or needing to balance your schedule. We want to be as accommodating as possible, but there are limits to approved changes, especially considering hiring decisions are made upon student registration requests from January and February. So please review this information, plan accordingly, and reach out with any questions. Our doors at West Fargo High School will open to students at 7:30 a.m. They are welcome anytime after that. Parking passes are $15 and can be ordered online. This is an increase in cost. We believe it's the first increase ever to match rising costs across our community, although we still come in much cheaper than Fargo's $40 parking pass price. In order to pick up your parking pass for this year, you need to make sure all unpaid parking tickets from previous years are paid. Pickup for parking passes will occur at back to school night and the first 3 days of school. We won't ticket until after we have had that first week of school to make sure students had time to pick up their parking passes. If learners or families are worried about traffic in the morning, we encourage students to arrive early to school. We'll monitor the situation, make adjustments as necessary with the flow of traffic in our parking lot. As a reminder, the loop in front of West Fargo High School and its main entrance is one way. There is also no parking or waiting for pickup facing east on the main lane in the parking lot. This is reserved for busing, and it creates too much congestion for families arriving and exiting our lot. Furthermore, families are not allowed to park or wait for pickup in the south staff lot. This lot is small, and this leads to double parking, and many of our educators need to exit school to pick up their own children or head to meetings. If you want to avoid the north lot, if you don't want to go in the main loop, we encourage you to wait along 10th Avenue where you can see the green check marks. Once again, we want to highlight the attendance policy for West Fargo Public Schools, as attendance is one of the most important factors for student success. If you've looked at the news, you know there's a nationwide issue regarding student attendance. Please help by being a part of the solution by scheduling vacations and trips over school breaks. Students need to be checking in with their teachers before and after absences to stay caught up. On behalf of our absolutely wonderful attendance ladies, Cindy and Teresa, I also want to remind families to call ahead when picking up a student for an appointment so we can have them ready and waiting for you. Related to attendance are tardies. Every 5th unexcused tardy does convert to an unexcused absence. This is per class period. All unexcused absences are assigned detention of an approximate matching length. For example, the block class, which is 1.5 hours long, receives 1.5 hours of detention. Advisory receives a half hour of detention if you skip advisory or win. Again, attendance is important, and so we want to support all students to be on time, present, and engaged in their classes. There is a significant amount of research about the negative impact of cell phone distractions on learning. As such, all West Fargo public schools, secondary schools, require phone-free classrooms. Cell phones must be out of sight and out of use from bell to bell, including during study halls. Cell phones can be appropriately and respectfully used in common spaces during non-instructional times, like in between classes and during lunch. Consequences escalate from a student having to pick up their phone from the main office at the end of the day to turning the device into the main office for 5 days and family meetings. We hope you'll help us enforce this rule by restricting texts and phone calls to students during instructional times. If you ever need to get a hold of your learner, contact the West Fargo High School main office. We'll be happy to assist you. If you want more information, you can check out awayfortheday.org to read the significant research supporting this practice. And then many of our educators read this book over the summer called The Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, and I encourage you to check it out. There is an increasing body of research about the negative impact of smartphones, specifically connected to access to social media, and we hope you'll partner with us to limit those negative effects as much as we can. To set your student up for success this school year, we recommend discussing and implementing these 4 helpful tips. The first is to establish a nightly routine that includes 8 to 10 hours of sleep, promoting healthy cell phone and social media use, especially limiting it before sleep, updating the iPad and making sure it's plugged into a power source and all apps are up to date, And then developing an organizational system like My Homework app to manage homework, deadlines, test quiz dates, etc. All freshmen will be receiving a paper planner this year. We want you to follow up to see what they've been recording at home and help them with those deadlines. A few other quick notes for you. Backpacks are allowed at West Fargo High School and lockers are available upon request only. You'll need to reach out to the main office if you'd like to do that. This has helped significantly reducing tardies and forgotten school materials. The federal waiver that allowed all students access to free lunch has expired. Families either need to pay full price or submit an application with the National School Lunch Program. I've linked it there. This is an application you have to do every year. So even if you've done it in years past, you need to complete it again. We also want to let families know that we do run a full service food pantry on site with non-perishable items, freezer foods, clothing, and school supplies. If a student or family would like access to our Packer pantry, please just ask in the main office. And finally, like last year, all West Fargo High School student IDs operate as activity passes. There's no separate activity pass for purchase. We want to make sure our student athletes have a big, energetic student section cheering them on. You may or may not have seen this image, this framework already. It is one of the ways high schools are held accountable in the state of North Dakota by ensuring that learners have access to choices beyond graduation. To be considered choice ready, learners must meet the essential skill requirements in the top blue box, which includes items for choice like participation in co or extracurricular activities, solid attendance, the North Dakota Civics Test, career exploration. There are a whole bunch of options. Then learners have to meet the requirements in 2 of the boxes listed below. So there are 3 options: post-secondary ready, those students that are going to college or university, even a 2-year program; workforce ready, those going straight into the career field; and then military ready, those enlisting in our armed forces. So we want students to be able to check the boxes in 2 of those groups. The phrase is the blue +2. West Fargo High School redesigned our advisory time to help meet these requirements. As a reminder, advisory meets on Monday in between blocks 1 and 2. There's a grade level curriculum aligned to one of the essential skills. Students do earn credit for advisory. It is a credit bearing course where the grade appears on the transcript. So this is important for that reason, and that it helps a student accomplish what they need to be choice ready. So for freshmen, they'll see High School 101, which is aligned to the essential skill of demonstrating competency in 21st century skills. Grade 10 students will have their advisory time be dedicated to choice readiness, and a huge component of that is going to be career exploration experience. Grade 11 students will have cybersecurity. This is a new requirement by state law. It also will be an online learning course for them to help check that off, that essential skill. And then grade 12 students will have a capstone. This is to meet that essential skill of successfully completing a capstone project. The North Dakota Scholarship is aligned to the Choice Ready framework. This is an incredible opportunity for students to receive money to help cover the cost of post-secondary learning opportunities. You can check out this website for more information. There you'll find linked resources, including an FAQ and timelines. Recent changes, there have been some changes with this over the past few years. They include allowing 3 credits of fine arts to count towards post-secondary, 3 credits of world language to count toward workforce ready, and lowering the needed ASVAB score to a 50. We want you to check it out. This is an important thing to have awareness of, especially leading up to registration, so you don't miss out on that free money. As partners in the educational process, I wanted to share the high school's goals for the upcoming year. So they're aligned to 3 buckets: academic, wellness, and choice ready. We set 3 goals every year aligned to the district's strategic plan. So our academic goal this year is about learners receiving explicit instruction in student success skills through the Packer process. So think time management, deadlines, organization, emotional management, those sorts of skills. So we're going to have Packer process posters in all classrooms to help remind students of the different expectations they might have from class to class about missing work, late work, deadlines, etc. We're also going to make sure instructor bios, syllabi, and their Packer process is on our website. And then we're going to be having intentional conversations among grade level teachers, specifically focusing on that grade 9 transition to help support kids. How you can help: When the syllabi are posted or when kids bring them home, review them so you know what's happening in the classroom and can help your student navigate all that they're going to be learning and doing. Help your learner develop a process for organization and time management. Monitoring PowerSchool and Schoology, this is huge. Make sure you know when those deadlines and assignments are, and help remind your learner to build those responsibility skills. Our wellness goal is about promoting school-wide accountability, especially through recognizing positive behavior. We're going to have a greater staff presence in our hallways. We're going to continue efforts with the Packer Pride cards, the green cards that we mail home, and increase celebrations for learners. How you can help. Share celebrations with us. I love getting emails from families and community members with pictures or notes about what happened in an event. There are 6 administrators, but it's hard for us to be everywhere. And so we love getting those notes about away games or pictures from events or competitions, or even things that aren't school related, Eagle Scout award ceremonies, those kind of things, so we can lift those learners up here at school too. Supporting our school rules and policies, such as cell phones and attendance, following the monthly newsletter that I send out, both for awareness of school events and then also to acknowledge the students of the month that we have, and then holding on to the Packer Pride card. So when you get one of those mailed home, it is special, and I love when I go to graduation parties, seeing all of the Packer Pride cards that a student's received spread out to celebrate what they've done at West Fargo High. And then our Choice Ready goal is about engaging in Packer activities, including going to events and then volunteerism. We want to have more events associated within our Packer events. So how can we get students to come and be a part of those student sections, coordinating more service opportunities through campus, and continuing to increase awareness of the 100+ clubs through fairs and just announcements across our campus. How you can help? We really hope you encourage your learner to get involved, to join at least one club or activity on campus. We know those students who are involved do better academically. We want you to attend West Fargo High School events. You hope I'll visit our campus, whether it be for a band concert or a football game or an art fair or academic awards. And then promote volunteerism outside of school. It is part of the Choice Ready framework to have those 25 hours of community service by the time you graduate. There's so many ways to give back to the West Fargo community that gives us so much. And so we hope you take opportunities to do that with your family. To stay up to date on all West Fargo High news, we encourage you to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, Packer Television, and to check our school website. I also send out a monthly update, typically in the middle of the month, that contains important need-to-know information, upcoming events, contact details, etc. So please, when you see that come into your inbox, make sure to read that as well. We're incredibly excited to welcome your student back on campus and kick off the school year. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to our main office or your student's administrator. It's going to be a great year. Let's go Packers.